everybody, it's me. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this finds you in the middle of a wonderful day. I'm Lisa the Love Coach, at Lisa the Love Coach on Instagram. And today I'm talking about advice for a guy who was getting divorced and he's thinking about dating while getting divorced. He was separated from his wife for 2 years and he's like in the mood to date, and he wanted to know how to go about it. And I'm going to share what he shared with me in his love life assessment. So if you go over to lovequestcoaching.com, I do these free love life assessments. It's a form you fill out, you ask me questions, I give you answers. And I am going to share the plight of this guy from Chicago. I'm going to get into this so that I can share with you, give you guys some time to jump on, some time to like and share so that people can find this information. It can be helpful to them. We're going to get into this. This is about dating while going through divorce. All right, here we go. So he begins by telling me that he is currently going through, almost finished with getting divorced. He's been separated from his wife a long while, and he recently decided to date. He connected with someone that he really likes, but he has this intense fear of being ghosted, of being left, and it causes anxiety, huge stress on a daily basis. So this dude clearly is codependent. I want you guys to pay attention to that, right? If you feel any kind of anxiety, any kind of attachment to the outcome when you're dating and you're just freaking out, if this person doesn't call you, oh my God, are they gonna ghost on me? That anxiety is an indicator that you might be codependent, right? So that means that you are connected to the validation, attention, worthiness that comes from someone else's attention on you, basically, is one way that codependency reveals itself, the one way it manifests. There are many ways, many different things you can see, but this is one for sure. When as soon as I see somebody saying, I have a fear of being ghosted, I have a fear of being left, there's like abandonment stuff going on, and it causes a lot of anxiety. I understand how to curb this energy, and it definitely helps to keep the relationship going, but it's really hurting me on the inside. So this is somebody who is not living authentically. They're not showing up in the relationship authentically. He's showing an okay energy on the surface, on the outside, but inside he's anxious, and it's conflicting energies. So the person feels that, doesn't feel safe, and for whatever reason bounces, ends the relationship. I don't feel like I'm ever going to achieve happiness with someone. Now this is a belief that this guy has, so here's what his reality is, right? He's living in a reality right now where, number one, he is afraid that people are going to leave him. Number two, he has a belief that he doesn't think he's ever going to be good at love, that he's ever going to find happiness with someone. And the third thing is, he's in divorce energy. Right? He has to heal from that. He has to process that, go through that process, heal from the divorce, really get good with yourself, right? And then start dating. A lot of people make the mistake of dating while sad, dating while lonely, dating during divorce, separation. I've been there. I was dating people while I was separated, and I was doing it for an escape. And I wasn't paying attention to what I needed. I didn't know how to soothe myself. Everything was external. And so once you have the opportunity to turn it inward and really commit to your own healing, that's when magic starts to happen in your life. What patterns do you see in your love life? Is there anything that happens over and over? He says, being left and not having boundaries. So this person is definitely codependent. it's another sign that you're codependent is very loose or non-existent boundaries. If you struggle with boundaries, meaning you say yes when you mean no, and I don't just mean sexually, although sexual boundaries are very important. I'm talking anything from talking on the phone past a certain time. This is your time. You want to cuddle up. I'm going to be cuddling up on my beautiful, delicious, comfy cream puff, the sofa. But let's say, it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm chilling, watching some documentary or something, and the phone rings, and it's, some dude that, I'm in a relationship, so if my man calls me at 10, I'm going to pick up because I have a relationship, 4 years, whatever. But if I was just dating some dude and it was early in the relationship, it was just kind of, the beginning stages, I would probably start to have a boundary. I most likely would have a boundary until I knew this person better, until I really developed trust and rapport and I knew that, we were on a certain level together. I would probably not accept any phone calls after 9 p.m. That's my time. That's my time for me to relax, to unwind, to, just be with myself and hang, I don't know if I want to entertain, the late night conversations. I'm just, I might put a boundary that way. Other people might put boundaries in other ways. Another example of a good boundary is some people want to get to know somebody to a certain level before they invite them to their home. They want to see their home, but they want them to see their home, but they don't want to just be like, first date, boom, come on up, let's have a drink. They want to develop rapport. They want to ask more questions. They want to find out what is going on with this person before they extend the invitation to have them in their home. So anytime you see those types of patterns, it's codependency, and you definitely want to handle that. He's also talking about trauma from past relationships, which ruins his current life. This is someone who has not healed from the traumas of past relationships. I would imagine this definitely contributed to his marriage, how he showed up in his marriage, and why he's now getting divorced. What 3 questions do you want answers to regarding to your love life? And I'm just sharing with you the questions that are asked in the free love life assessment that you can take at lovequestcoaching.com. So the 3 questions that you want answers to with regards to your love life. And he says, how can I work more towards self-fulfillment? Another flash that says you are codependent is you just don't feel fulfilled within yourself. Everything that brings you fulfillment, when you're codependent, you are dependent on things outside of yourself to feel good. It's friends, it's distractions, it's dating, it's lovers, it's partying, shopping, all of these external things to soothe is what codependents typically look for. And it's very depleting, and it is not fulfilling, because fulfillment, true fulfillment, comes from within, comes from inside. These are things that I had to learn the hard way, honey. And now through coaching, I am able to share the wisdom of my journey, save people a bunch of time in theirs, and help them through these very realistic things that people go through in life. So, second one he says is, how can I get used to being alone? A lot of people struggle with being alone. A lot of people don't know how to revel in their solitude. They don't know how to make the most of their time, get really busy, set goals that are juicy and delicious and incredibly high passion goals, where if you're not with other people, you could focus on the things that you want to get done, things that you want to accomplish for you. The greatest antidote to loneliness is busyness. And I don't just mean busy for the sake of being busy. I mean purposeful busyness. I'm busy with my business. I'm busy writing. There's always something I can be doing to learn, to get better, something I can read, taking in a good book. I definitely had a problem a long time ago, in my 20s, definitely, of being alone. I was the girl who would lily pad jump like a little froggy from one relationship to the next. one was winding down and I had already somebody waiting in the wings. And that's fine, I guess, you know, when you're kind of experimenting with dating and relationships and you're in your early 20s and you're trying to figure stuff out. But eventually that little behavior gets old and it's very destructive, and it's absolutely a sign of codependency. So in this case, this person asks, how can I get used to being alone? So, you know, it's a thing to cultivate. You know, if you can't be alone and revel in your solitude, then that's a problem. And, you know, self-love is the best love. And that just shows that there's a misalignment there, right? There's a need for external validation. There's a need to have somebody around. I would imagine that something happened to this kid, this guy, when he was young that really triggered an abandonment trauma. So a lot of people who are codependent later in life, you can trace it back to abandonment traumas, even parents who may have been super, super needy, putting their agendas and their needs above yours as their child and making you responsible for their happiness. So there's a lot of that. And the third one that he says is, how can I become more desirable? I don't need to date tons of women. I just like one person to spend time with and get to know and have fun with. Okay, so you become more desirable when you become secure in yourself. And it's actually an energy that when people are very secure in themselves and they love to be on their own and they can revel in their solitude and they don't really need to be with someone, but they want to be, they just, you know, have it to give. They have their life set up in a certain way where they know that they have it in them to give in a relationship and they're ready to be in a relationship. When you're coming at relationships from that healthy place, as opposed to, I want to be with somebody, why can't I be with somebody, with a very heavy energy, a heavy attachment to the outcome, you're going to be more magnetic. You're going to be more receiving and open to receiving really good people who aren't predatory, people who are also healthy, you know, and open and wanting what you want to. I ask on this Love Life assessment, again, you can take a Love Life assessment at my website. It's for free. It's lovequestcoaching.com. That's lovequestcoaching.com. You'll click a button that says free Love Life assessment. When you click it, you get these questions and you're free to answer however long you want. How would you describe your ideal relationship? I ask this question because I like to know where people are at in their knowledge of what it is they want. And so I asked this open-ended question, and he says, honest and fun. I'm a really simple person. I just want someone I can talk openly with, be excited with, learn new things with them, help them achieve whatever they're looking to achieve, and be a team. Now, I'm reading this from a perspective of language. So when I break this down, honest and fun. Okay, so when somebody is asking for somebody who's honest, oftentimes it's because they've been betrayed. So they're looking for somebody honest. I'm a really simple person. I just want someone I can talk openly with. So that tells me that he's into connection through communication. And he wants to talk openly, which means that he probably has been judged in the past. He feels judgment. He wants to be able to speak openly. And he wants somebody who can hold space for him. Now, the best way to attract somebody who can hold space for you, who will be loyal, who will be open and honest, is to be loyal, open, honest, and an advocate for yourself. So if you want somebody to hold space for you, you have to learn how to hold space for yourself, because that's how then you're able to teach other people how to hold space for you. What do I mean by hold space? I mean giving you the platform to say anything, to speak freely, to speak authentically, to share your truth. How would you describe your, okay, learn new things, help them achieve whatever they're looking for to achieve. So codependents are very outward looking, right? So notice, help them achieve whatever they are looking to achieve. So a lot of codependents think it's their job to fix people. It's their job to help them achieve and prosper. It's not. It's your job to support them and assist and be encouraging and believe in people, but to have it where you're so enmeshed in them, where you have a personal stake in their success, a connection to the outcome. You could want the best for somebody, but ultimately it's their doing, it's their choice to pursue what is the best for them. So typically people who are codependent, it's I want to help them to achieve. A person who is not codependent will say, I want to support them in their endeavors. I want to be a good support to somebody. I want to encourage somebody as they go for what they want in life. It's a very different language and therefore a very different intentionality. So you want to be very careful of that. I did a lot of work on this back in the day. That's why I'm talking about it now. Language is everything, especially when you're setting intentions for manifestation, to attract that person, to vibrate on a level where you are going to be a vibrational match for that which you want. Language is very important. What do you think keeps you from having your optimal romantic partnership? This is a great insight that I get from people by asking this question. It's, it really tells me a lot about how people are self-reflective. So when I ask, what do you think keeps you from having your optimal relationship? It puts the focus on them. It shows, are they self-aware? And this person wrote me and said, I'm actually not even sure. So the reason why he is not sure is he's going through a divorce. He hasn't had the time to self-reflect and really get to know himself. Now, this person is in their late 20s. They got married very young, and typically when people marry very young, and by very young I mean under the age of 35, they are very emotionally immature still. It's very rare that you see people, it's not like not possible, but it's rare that you see people in their 20s with the emotional maturity required and the self-actualization, like knowing who you truly are, to thrive in a marriage. A lot of people who are younger, who have children right away, who are, in that, they're very rooted in faith. Those are the marriages that, thrive, or the ones where they might be young, but they're very faith-based marriages. They're very soulful, spiritual marriages. So that's a whole other topic that I'll get into for my couples. So if you like this channel, you like what you're seeing, you're catching me on YouTube, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the comments, do whatever, show some flowers. So give me a thumbs up, and you'll be, alerted. Hit the bell notification, and you'll also be alerted to when more videos come up. How long was your longest relationship? What did it teach you? If you're in your longest relationship presently, what has it taught you so far? So he just answers 4 years. Doesn't expound, nothing more. I find that when people are giving very tight, quick answers, they're not aware of themselves. The people who really spill it on this assessment, they really go in there, they're typically the people who end up becoming, part of enrolling in my programs. I have several programs. I start everybody off with a very nice deep dive, either 60-minute or 90-minute intensive. It's nice, you get a lot of clarity. We have a very deep conversation. You come away with tools and things that you can actually put in play as soon as you hang up the phone. And that's where we find out, too, how serious you are to solving the problem that you want to solve in your love life and your relationship. And then we explore if coaching is for you. No pressure, no nothing, but, sometimes people do one of these and they love it so much that they want to really handle the things that they see are holding them back in their lives. So in this case, this man was in something for 4 years, decent amount of time, obviously probably his marriage. So I would be curious to know more about him, and especially in his earlier years, his 2 years old to 12 years old, that time frame. I'd love to know more about what happened to him, how he was shown love from his parents, who taught him about love, who taught him about love of self, who entrained him to be codependent. Where did that come from? So these are the deeper dive questions that we would get to. And the answers always glean some sort of dot connection where a breakthrough can happen, right? So when you know a lot about yourself and you start to really look at the roots as to why you are the way you are and the way you show up in relationships the way you do, then you start to really be able to connect some dots, and that's where the healing starts. So what are your personal goals? Aside from your love life, what would you like to improve in your life? And he elaborates a little here and says, I'd love to continue to improve my relationships with friends. I also want to continue to get in better shape. I'm a former high school athlete, but have struggled with my work schedule to stay in shape. So this is yet another way to tell of codependency, is putting everything above your self-care. People who are codependent, they will put their jobs, they will put other people, they will put everything ahead of their own self-care and their own well-being. And they do this because they're relationship people. They value relationships so much that they think that if they do something for themselves, that they will risk losing that relationship or make someone angry or be less available for a relationship. And the first person that you have to take care of is yourself. The relationship with yourself is your number one relationship, and then that relationship is what then helps you manifest whatever other relationships you're going to have in your life from a healthy, harmonious, very purposeful place. So I hope that this helped you out. I love sharing these letters that come in because typically these are the people who fill out the free Love Life assessment over at lovequestcoaching.com, and I'm able then to share things that they're going through because they're not alone, and other people can say, hey, that's me too. I don't like being alone. I'm feeling lonely. COVID kicked my ass. I don't know even how to rebound from this. I've been coaching a lot of people around loneliness these days, and putting people on really fun plans and actions that they can take to really have a life that is full and robust, even in these times of COVID-19. So if you want to get information on that, feel free to visit me at lovequestcoaching.com. You'll be able to connect with me there, and I look forward to connecting with you. Until next time, much love. Good night.